Good morning to you.
Very good morning, TJ.
So this is a conversation bubbling underneath us all the way, IMF, whether to go there or not. How's that playing out?
So it was very interesting. The finance minister, along with the Reserve Bank governor, had a briefing this weekend, and the question obviously came up because now we've got no money in our purse. Where are we going to get money after this downgrade? So the question came, are we going to be approaching the World Bank or the IMF? And the minister was very clear that if a situation did occur where we had to approach the IMF, we would only approach them for emergency funding to deal with the coronavirus. We do know that South Africa financially wasn't prepared for the virus, initiating a solidarity fund in which businesses and individuals like yourself can contribute to help mitigate the devastating financial implications of the COVID-19. So if we did approach the IMF, it would only be to deal with the health finances during the coronavirus outbreak.
It's always hard to get out of the IMF's grip once you're in it as well, isn't it?
That's right.
Okay, is it the time for the National Treasury to show what it's really made up of?
I think there is a strong willingness from the finance minister to do so. Okay, so if we did approach the IMF, they would put on very strict conditions, like you've said. Once you're in the grip, it's very hard to get out. And this doesn't sit well with the ruling party as well as the unions, because very, very difficult decisions would have to be taken. These decisions were mentioned in what's been now called the Tito paper, where he released a structural reform paper last year to produce structural and fiscal reforms in the country. This obviously wasn't received very well, and obviously it wasn't implemented. So what you're seeing now is we don't have a buffer against the global recession, and of course we don't have a buffer against the divestment that we're seeing after the downgrade happened. So it is time for National Treasury to show what they're made of, and what is important here is, are they going to deal with the power crisis? So Moody's did blame in part the downgrade to Gwede Mantashe and his lack of action when it comes to providing reliable power supply, structural reforms, which means that the President, as well as National Treasury and the economic cluster, pushing aside the rhetoric of the ruling party and the unions and making really hard decisions within the next year, not 3 years, as the Finance Minister indicated in his budget, and of course fiscal reforms. I agree with one economist earlier saying that he needs to reorganize the budget and present it to us and tell us exactly about those finances.
Let's leave it there and talk about it more, the impact on the rand, in the next bulletin. Thanks very much for that.